Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining me for another sort of impromptu live stream. Hope you all had a good week. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock or a little bit thereafter, at least on the East Coast. And of course, as soon as I start talking, somebody's upstairs running a vacuum cleaner. So if you hear that, it'll be done in a minute, sorry. Hope you're all doing well. Let me know if everything looks and sounds okay. I appreciate you all being here. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks, I think, since we've gotten together. Man, it feels like it's just last week, but it's not. It's like 3 or 4 weeks. So I figure I have a little bit of free time tonight. I got to get busy again tomorrow. So I thought, let's hang out and see what's up with everybody. So let me know if the sound in the photo, the picture is okay. Hey, Higher Grounds, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, Braxel, what's up, bud? David S.J., how are you, my friends? You were going to mow, what were you going to do? You were going to mow mine and now my neighbor's yard, but decided to wait till the morning. That a boy, because this is more important than doing yard work. That's for sure. Audio and video are good. Cool. Okay, excellent. Good. I'm sure people will start filing in anytime soon. Okay, thanks, Higher Ground. I'm glad everything's sounding okay. That's good and looks okay. So what do we got going on here? So Tuesday, you're going to see a video. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you're going to be able to download some really cool multi-track files. We got another POV mix coming Tuesday, which I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So stay tuned to that. What other videos did I just did 4 videos today that'll go out over the next 4 weeks. We did the Z&H 560 EQs. Those were done today. We did the Z&H V250 EQs, which are the 500 series versions of the big white one that's up there. We did that today. I did a review finally of the West Audio RIA, because some of you have asked me about that, and it's been on the list for like, I don't know, a year and a half. So I finally got around to doing that today. So that video will be coming. What else? Oh, the Warm Audio CL1 or WA1B. That video's been done and as a standalone. And then I also did the video of that unit where I compared it to the Universal Audio plugin. That video's done. So those videos are all done. I think that's what, 5 or 6 videos that you'll start to see starting next Tuesday. And then there's more on the list to come. We have the Z&H 1178. That will be coming up soon. We have the Stam Audio preamps, the API preamps that they sent me. I haven't done the video for those yet. Those will be coming soon. And then I have a couple of other videos on the list of things to do as well. And a couple of more POV style mixing. And I think that'll take us somewhere into mid-September. maybe the end of September, and then we'll see where we are from there. And so while those videos are kind of coming out one a week, I will be working on the next mixing hybrid course, which will be mixing hybrid country. I am probably going to start that on Monday. That will come out probably sometime, maybe mid to late September. So stay tuned for that. And if you didn't check out the Mixing Masterclass Volume 2 course, you can still get in on it and you can still be part of the mixing contest. Your mixes aren't due until September 1st, I believe. So check that out as well. As a matter of fact, while you guys are all kind of filing in, I will get the link for that. So you can go check that out and you can get a hold of the Mixing Masterclass Volume 2 and you have a chance to win some really cool prizes. Let me put this link in the description or in the chat room so you guys can check that out. So I'll put that here. Okay. So go check that out if you want to get in on the mixing contest. The mixing contest will be giving away, I don't know, 3 prize packs, thousands of dollars worth of stuff. A couple of DAW controllers. We got some drum microphone pack. We got the IK Media room correction, the ARC, the ARC system. That'll be really cool. So go check that out. You can still get it on sale. before the price goes up. The sale ended last week, but I've extended it a few days because not everyone reads their emails when they first come out. People are in different time zones. So if you want to get in on that, you should. And then when we do the Mixing Hybrid Country, we'll be giving away some of the Z&H product. We'll be giving away a couple of their units for mixing contest for that. So that's that. So what are you guys up to? That's all that's going on here. Braxel's been playing with the Cranborn HE2. Oh, you finally got it. Nice. How do you like it? That's the full rack. That's that full rack unit, right? I hope you like that. I'm sure it's really good. I haven't really paid attention to it other than I know that it's out. But I haven't seen any videos on it and I haven't tried it myself. But yeah, that's good. Good for you, man. Good for you. Did you start messing around with the stand pre's yet? Not yet. Not yet. Next week, maybe soon. Not yet. I just haven't had time to do it. I've been doing so many other videos, but I eventually will. And those are going to be given away too. I'm not keeping those. Those are going to be given away in part of the mixing contest for one of the upcoming courses as well. So if you want to win free gear, you have to get in on the course. It's as simple as that. And then you have a chance to win some of this stuff. But no, I haven't played with their preamps yet, but I will. I will. So if you're hanging out here and you want to support what we do here, make sure you do the super chat. That is always very helpful, and I thank you so much in advance for that. Make sure you check that out. And yeah, so it's been busy here. What have you guys been working on in your studio? Tell me what you guys have been working on. Let me close this down here. Hold on. People will start filing in here hopefully soon. Okay. Back on track, back on track. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, leave it in the chat and I'll be sure to get to it. And that's really it. I'm trying to think of what else I could tell you guys about things that I can actually tell you. I think I told you everything that I'm allowed to tell you. Trying to think, do I have any more gear coming in? No, I don't. I think everything, I told you about everything so far. All the STAM stuff, the Z&H stuff, that's really it as far as new gear goes, at least for now. There's a couple other things going on in the works, but nothing that I've confirmed for sure. So I really can't talk about that stuff all that much. And yeah, just cranking along here and working. Hopefully you guys are working in your studios and getting some cool stuff done. That's always really cool. Braxel says he likes it, but one of those devices you can play with and you really notice it doing something when you take it away. Oh yeah. So it's, maybe it's more subtle until you take it away, then you go, oh my God, what happens, right? That's cool, man. That's a cool new piece. I know those have been on back order. They've been hard to get, but I'm glad you got it and you like it, man. Do you have a diode bridge compressor? I do. I have the STAM Audio 609. You might be able right there. The STAM Audio 33609 or their SA609. I have that and I use it a lot for parallel drum compression. I got to do a video on that at one point as well. I haven't done a video for that, but it is on the list. That's a really nice compressor. I really like that. I like the two pieces that I have by STAM Audio. I really like. But I should do a video where we try it on a bunch of different things. I just haven't gotten to that yet. It adds a lot. Only issue is that they have fixed. The only issue which they have fixed so far is the recall plugin. Oh, that's right. Right. You can, now is that a digitally, like, can the plugin control the hardware, Braxel? I think it does, right? It's not just for recall, right? It is a digitally controlled hardware unit, right? I think it is. Which is great, man. I'll tell you that stuff is really cool. I love the West Audio stuff for that reason alone. It's really nice having that convenience of the plugin that can control the hardware for recall and for presets and automation and all that stuff. That's really cool, man. But I think that thing is controlled by the plugin itself, if I remember right. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, you say it is, right? Yeah, I thought so. That's cool. That's cool. That's an expensive piece though, man. You know who else makes, West Audio just did a brand new, I think we talked about it last time, their brand new EQ. The big, I don't know what they call it, but like the $6,000 EQ. Man, that looks really cool too, but man, it's too expensive for my blood. I should reach out to my West Audio contact and see if they'll loan it to me for demo. I'd like to try it. Actually, I don't know. If I try it, I may want it. So maybe I shouldn't try it. It's probably not a good thing. But yeah, I'm sure that thing is killer too, man. I'm sure that thing is really, really good. Yeah, that's cool that yours is 100% controlled with the plugin. That's nice. I'm telling you, once you do that with one piece of hardware and you've experienced that, man, you're going to wish all your hardware was like that. Unfortunately, most companies don't do that, at least not yet. But, you know, some of the newer stuff coming out is having that control, which is, I think, great. I wish all my hardware did that, but it just doesn't. You're pretty sure you're going to buy the West Audio. Oh, you're going to buy that one? Really? Man, good for you, man. Good for you. That's a lot, though. That's like $6,000, right? That's a big. I gotta look into it more. I'm just curious about I mean, their stuff is so, like, that's their most expensive piece, I believe. Yeah, I think it is, because even the NG bus compressor is only about $3,000, maybe a little more than that. But that's like twice the money. I gotta read into why is that thing so expensive? What's so cool about that EQ that's so expensive? I gotta look into that, because that's a lot, $6,000 for one unit. You know, that's a lot of money. I got to read into what's so great about it. I know it's all digitally controlled, and I know it's going to have all the, you know, total harmonic distortion circuits and maybe transformer circuits. It's going to have all that stuff. But man, I would hope it would have more than that for $6,000, you know? Yeah, the recall is very neat, right? I mean, that once you experience that, it's hard to go back to stuff that's not digitally controlled. It really is. Hey, have you ever tried the louder than liftoff Silver Bullet? Either one, MK1 or MK2? No, I've seen it. I know about it, but I've never tried it, but I know about it. Yeah, no, but louder than liftoff, I know the company, they do something, they've done some things with Audioscape with their VA or the DA3A, when it was, but not the new one, but the older one where you had it in that 1U space. They did something with louder than liftoff with the company on that unit. I forget exactly what they did because I've never tried the unit, but I know they've done some stuff with them. I don't know if they've done any more stuff. You know, speaking of Audioscape, they just put out, actually through Kive Audio, they put out their V-Comp as a plugin, which is pretty cool. I got it. I haven't tried it yet. But they have the V-Comp unit, the hardware. They did a plugin of it, which is great. And I guess the plugin has two different versions. It's they have the V-Comp, and then there's an older version of it. I don't know if that's the stay level. I haven't looked into it, but they sent me the license. I have it. I just haven't played with it yet and got the time to do a demo for it, but I will. That demo will be on the Home Recording Made Easy channel, not this channel. But yeah, so they just did a plugin with them, which is really cool. Trying to think, someone else just did a plugin recently too that I was checking out. Who was it? Name escapes me. A new plugin that I got that I have to, I got to take a look at. I forget. I get contacted by so many people. Oh, you know, the other thing that I got, was the, it won't happen on this channel, it'll happen on the other channel, but talking about Antelope, and then, you know, I have the Galaxy. Well, I also now have, for a demo on my other rig, their new Zen Quadro, which is their new little desktop audio interface, Antelope I'm talking about now, which looks really cool. I've been using it for a little bit, and I like it. It's really, really nice. I'm going to do a video on that. It's like a $600 interface. It kind of, it has a lot of the same functionality of some of the Universal Audio desktop Apollos, but at a lot cheaper of a price. And it has more ins and outs too for the price too, which is kind of cool. So that I'm playing around with that, and I'll be doing some, I'll be doing a review on that soon as well. So yeah, so I got that coming up too. Hey Steve, how are you? I have the louder than liftoff Chroma, which is the little brother of the Silver Bullet. Oh, cool. Built on the same architecture. You really like how versatile it is on different sources. Oh, cool. I've never, like I said, I've never used any of their stuff. But that's cool, man. Well, where do you buy their stuff? Do you buy their stuff directly from them? I don't think like Sweetwater or Zounds or anybody like that carries that, right? I don't think so. Maybe you have to buy it direct, or maybe Vintage King or somebody like that. Getting all the analog gear is very expensive. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm on this train now and I cannot stop until I get all I need. Why did I go down this road? Because it's fun. Because it's fun. You know, yeah, us crazy engineers do this stupid stuff. Just like if you're a musician, guitar players that have, 30 guitars on their wall and you only need one, right? Same reason, isn't it? Same thing. We have way more instruments than what you need, and so you have way more analog gear than what you need. It's fun. But you know what? When you talk about this gear, it all retains its value. It's all got value. So don't feel like you wasted your money. And down the road, if you ever decide to go in a different direction, or you retire from doing your music or whatever, this stuff will all have value and you'll be able to get your money back for it, especially if you buy good quality stuff. So, but yeah, it's expensive, right? It's so freaking expensive. It's so expensive. It's crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. Oh, I'm not sure if you told me about the Pharaoh fish. Yeah, I think you did. Oh, you took back your Pharaoh fish. You like the RME is coming out with the M1620 Pro. Now, what is the M1620 Pro, Braxel? So I know the A32 was the 32IO, right? But it had to be done over MADI or something like that, right? If I recall properly. But you took it back. Why'd you take it back? You just didn't like it, or was it like clunky with your other stuff? Oh, you're saying they're coming out with interfaces called FireNet. No kidding. I haven't seen anything I haven't heard about that. That's really cool. I'll have to take a look and see what that's all about. So you got something on order? What do you have? The M60? Oh, you have it on pre-order. Okay. So what is that M1620 going to give you? Like, what is it? I would assume it just extends your IO, right? That's what it probably does. Steve says you have to buy it directly on their website. Okay, that's the Silver Bullet stuff. Cool. I'll have to go check out their website again and see what else they got going on over there. But yeah, I know of them, and I've heard of them, and I've seen some couple other studios on YouTube that have I think demoed some of their stuff. I've just never paid much attention to it, but I'll have to check it out. Hi, the 10 megahertz reference master clock really makes a difference. Oh, it does? Okay. What's reference makes a big difference. The 10 gigahertz, what is that? Is that the brand name or something? I don't know what that is. Oh, better converters. Hear that, David S.J.? We're about to talk about converters again. Braxel still thinks his converter is going to change the game. Well, that's cool, man. Good for you. Buy it for the better converter. Good for you. Good for you. That's what they told me in that Antelope Zen Quadro. They told me that the converters and the preamps and the converter and the clock, excuse me, is the same converter and clock that's in my $11,000 unit. Is it really? I don't know. And a $599 audio interface, it's got the same clock and converter. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. But I know the little Zen Quattro interface sounds really good. I mean, you know what I really like about it, and I noticed this too on the Neumann MT48 when we did that. Not the converters, but for those little desktop interfaces. You know what I really noticed was really great about them? The preamps are really good and they're clean, but the headphone amplifiers are really, really quiet and they're really, really loud. When you use cheaper audio interfaces, and I know this because I've had these before, and I'm about to do some product demos for the new PreSonus Quantums, the little desktop ones, the $200 or $250 interface and the $400 interface, which is basically the little desktop Quantum, the new Quantum that they've done since they've been with Fender. And the one thing I noticed right away was the quality of the headphone amplifiers in the MT48 and in the Zen Quattro are far superior to the stuff in the cheaper interfaces. Like when you turn them up, you don't hear all the white noise. They're really, really clean and they're really, really loud, which I like, the other thing about those two interfaces I just mentioned, the MT48 and the Zen Quattro, is the preamp's got a lot of gain and a lot of headroom, and you can power things like an SM7B with no cloud lift. Really clean. Can't do that on the cheaper interfaces. So those are really cool. So yeah, hey Jimmy, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Nothing wrong with the feral fish, you just wanted the gear to match. Okay, you wanted the army. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. That makes sense. How many hours of videos did we do refuting all of that? Too many. And then we can, no matter, we can do another 50 hours of converter stuff, and there's still going to be people that will think the converter from one unit to another makes all the difference in the world. And you know what? If it makes all the difference in the world to them, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Let's see. No, I'm not going over converters. I never had so much talk about converters until you started all those darn videos. I know. But you know, the whole point of the video, Braxel, was to show you that the converter really doesn't matter when, let's make sure we clarify, because somebody will get in the comments that maybe someone new here that hasn't seen all the videos. When you have a piece of equipment that's already, you're dealing with a professional level piece of equipment. I'm not talking about the $200 little desktop audio interface. The preamps, converters, and clocks and those are not going to be as good as the stuff in the higher end units, of course. But when you're talking about north of $1,000, north of $1,500 for your IO, the converters in that, there is no difference in my opinion between that and a converter in whatever, an Army, a feral fish, a Neumann. They're all pretty much the same. At least they all sound the same to me. So for people who haven't heard all these conversations, we talked about this stuff before, just so you know, I'm not saying that the converters don't matter between a $2,000 unit and a $200 unit. Yes, they do. But when you're in that higher end stuff, you know, whether you're buying Neumann or RME or Antelope or Apogee or any of the name Lynx or take your pick of the name brand, Universal Audio, whoever. When you take all of those units, which are all really, really wonderful pieces of gear, all pretty, prosumer at the very least up to professional units, the converters in all of those are more than adequate. No one really can hear the difference, although some people swear they can. At least I can't. And if you already have a piece of gear in that price range and you're going to sell it to buy another piece of gear in that price range because you read somewhere or someone told you the converter is that much better, you're probably wishful thinking. But if that's what you like and if you think you can hear a difference, then hey man, you got to have what you want to have. And that's nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing against you, but sometimes my mind goes into this mode making me think over converters. I keep trying to, you need like therapy, Braxel. We got to get you like a studio, what do we got to get you? Like a gear therapist to talk you off the converter ledge. So don't blame us that we made you get into this converter. We were trying to show you that the converters really don't make that much of a difference if they make a difference at all. We didn't tell you go out and keep switching the gear because you're told that the converters are better. Hey Martin, how are you? Hey Dave, the 4848 was already great. It is. Well, it was past tense. They don't make it anymore. They just released their whole new line, PreSonus did, of their new converters. Excuse me, not the new converters, their new quantum audio interfaces, and they did not replace the 4848, and they're not going to. I found out there's no plans to do it. Now, I don't know if they're going to have another higher end audio piece of gear, but it sounds like that 4848 is gone forever. So the quantum interfaces that they re-released or, did a refresh on are all, small little desktop. I think they make one HD rack units which probably has 8 inputs or something, and then they make a couple of desktop ones. I have one of them here, the entry level one, which looks like a nice little audio interface. I'm gonna check it out and see. That's coming right behind the Antelope review. I'll be doing that one next, so I'll have them side by side. But I'm sure, again, for most people that are not really working in what we're doing here with all this stuff, but most people that are just recording music at home, that little $300 quantum interface will be great. The preamps and the converters in that will be perfect for 99.999% of the people that are out there. But yeah, they didn't make the 4848 again, Martin. They just didn't do it. Hey, Robert, how are you? Sorry, it was a question. What was your question? I'm sorry, did I miss your question? Re-ask it if you would. I apologize. Hi, Harley, how you doing? Converters don't matter, circuits around them do. Yep, that's true. They all literally use the same converter chip, for Pete's sake. Pretty much. There's only 2 of them on the market. 2 of them, I think, that are out there. It's not really the converter, it's the circuitry before and after the converter. There's other things, other technical things that go into that. They maybe make one box better than another. It's not just the converter, but we've talked about all that stuff. And again, you can really get into the weeds on all this stuff, and you can really get really technical, but I'm too simple-minded for that. To me, again, if you buy an audio interface that's north of $1,000, your problem with the way your music sounds, finished product, has absolutely nothing to do with that box, in my opinion. But what do I know? What do I know? I think they mostly use ESS chips. Maybe you're right. That German dude, Julian Krause, has videos on what the chip is. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Gas 12-step support group. Yeah, we ought to start that here, right? We could be the first, the first of its kind. We need a support group. I don't know, man. I can't really be the one leading the support group when I'm surrounded by all this nonsense, 2/3 of it, which I don't need, but I have it. So I don't know. I don't know. Trust me, I tried the converter. I am tired of the converter issues. No offense to anyone. It was my own making. I went down that road. Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay. Hey, you get rid of some gear, you bring in some new gear, you try out new things. There's nothing wrong about that. That's right, Jimmy. It's all about the plugins. Yeah, it was kind of the same thing we used to talk about with plugins, right? Oh, this plugin sounds better than that plugin. I remember when I used to do the, and I still do them over there on the other channel, do like the SSL channel strip plugin shootout, They all sound the same, man. They all sound a little different. I mean, because they modeled the algorithms maybe a little different, or the piece of gear that they modeled is a little different. But by and large, they all sound the same. But people have their favorites, man. People have their favorites. They do. And in the end, it's all just, doesn't really matter. It's all just about having fun, and whatever plugins you use or whatever gear you use, if you have good skills and continue to improve, your productions will sound great. And it's all just flavors, right? And there's no, whatever you like is cool. Everyone likes something different. Speaking of gas, I just bought the new AudioScape DAM27 mic pre. Oh, nice. Hey, what did that cost you, James, if you don't mind me asking? I saw it, but I don't know. What are they selling that thing for? I'm just curious. But I saw that they put that out. Hey, Chris, what's up, buddy? Hey, Dave, I just got myself a Better Maker stuff. Oh, yeah, that's the other digitally controlled stuff. Great sound, great quality and good sounding stuff. Yeah, when they first put out their stereo passive EQ, their Pultec, I almost bought it. I think it's stereo. I'm almost sure it is. And it was a really good price. It was like $1,200 maybe. I have to go back and look. But yeah, I know some people that use Better Maker and they like it. I've never listened to it myself, but that's another company that has it's digitally controlled, right? Plug-in control stuff. I know they make that passive EQ They make don't they make a mastering EQ, and they make some compressors and stuff? So what did you get exactly, Chris? You got it on sale for $7.99. Oh, okay. I thought it was more than that. That's nice, man. That's nice. Did you get it yet, James? Or you just bought it and you're waiting for it? Like, have you gotten it? Have you tried it yet? I'm waiting for their they're building me one of the decomp compressors, which is their kind of take on the EMI stuff, the TG stuff. I'm really looking forward to trying that. A lot of people say great things about that product. And they're sending me one of those. So I'm interested to try those. But yeah, that new preamp, is it out, like you got it out, or is it like you just ordered it and you're waiting for it? And Chris, tell us what are the Better Maker stuff you got? You got the passive EQ and the limiter. That's right, a limiter, really good sounding, and the plugin is very stable, just like West Audio. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. If I had a need for a piece of gear that they made, I would probably try it, but I really don't. I really don't. But yeah, that's yeah, and their passive EQ, now that's stereo, right? That's their Pultec thing, but it's not tube, it's solid state, isn't it? I'm not really sure. But how much was that passive EQ, Chris? I thought it was a great, when it came out, I thought it was a great price, and I believe it was stereo. Okay, I have the 500 Pultec, 2 API 550Bs, cool, and 2 Cappy LC25s. Yeah, I got all those. Not all those. I don't have the 550s. I have, oh, actually, I do. I got the API 5500. That's the stereo 550. I have 3 slots left. What should I get when it comes to EQs? You know what I really like, Braxel? I really is starting to enjoy now the Neve 551s. You're not going to be able to see them, but I've done a video on them. I like those Neve 551s. They got a really nice top end to them. That might be one to try. It doesn't sound like a 1073. It's a lot different, I feel. That would be pretty cool. If you have 3 slots, you get a pair of those. Oh, you only got 3 though, huh? You don't have 2 pairs. You have 3 slots left. Maybe if the Neve 551 might be cool. That might be cool. You know, you could check out the Z&H stuff. You might like the 250s, which is the 500 series of the HVC 250. That might be cool. What else? You know, I have the Trident 80Bs are cool. Those are nice too. Those are some EQs. Oh, you said it hasn't arrived yet. Oh, okay, so just you got it like on order, they're building it. Do you do mastering too or just mixing? Just mixing. I mean, I do some mastering for some people, but I'm not a real mastering. My room's not set up as a mastering studio, so I can do some mastering, but usually people that hire me to mix are going to dedicated mastering engineers. So I can do some mastering. I have done some mastering, but this is really not a room that's set up for mastering. The gear and the choices and the way the room is set up is really more for mixing. Yeah, I've heard their Better Maker stuff is good too. Like I said, Chris just got some stuff. He really likes it, but I know they're have a good reputation. You know, you were considering SSL. Yeah, SSL EQs. Yeah, sure. You know, again, just try, you know, if you have, you know, a pair of, you know, Neves, well, you have the API stuff ready. You got Neve, you get SSL, you got API already. Yeah, like I said, the Tridents are cool. They're affordable and they sound pretty good. Those are good. You got the mastering EQ that runs just under 4K. Oh, okay, all right. It's stereo and passive, but I like it because it's more flexible than most passive EQs. The best of analog and digital, in my opinion. Yeah, that's great. They're the mastering EQ that runs under $4,000. That's more than what I remember. Maybe I'm thinking of a different unit. But like I said, I heard they make really good stuff, man. I heard they make really good stuff. But I've never sat in the room and listened to it. Yes, I've not received the shipped notification, though I've looked at my personal email today. Oh, you've not looked at your personal email today. Oh, maybe you got a surprise there, Jim. There you go. In September, the DIYRE will start selling their 73 preamp kit, which looks great. $400 for a full kit and a few hours worth of soldering. Great option for an affordable 73 pre. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I've never used any of their stuff. The only stuff that I've ever heard was David S.J.'s. He had some tape emulation, color boxes at one time. It's the only stuff that I've used by them. And then those are pretty cool from what I remember. Yeah, those are pretty cool. But they have a lot of, well, now you can also buy their stuff pre-built, right? If you want to spend a little more money and if you don't want to do all the soldering, right? You can do that, right? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Let's see. They also have a passive EQ that runs 2K. Yeah, that might be the one that I was thinking of, Chris, because I don't remember it being 4,000. Less flexible, I'm sure it sounds great. Okay, just a passive EQ that's 2K. Yeah, I think that's the one that I saw when it first came out, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good price. I think it was stereo. I thought it was less than that too, but this is going back a few years. I mean, the price of everything has just gone up so much that 2K EQ was probably 12 or 1,300 bucks. When I remember it being something like 12 or 1,300 or something, or 1,400. I remember thinking, wow, that's a really good price for that. And I almost bought it, but this is probably going back a few years though. Yeah. Dave, would you get an SSL 500 EQ or Rupert Neve that you have? It's the 521. Yeah, I think it is. No, it's a 551. Hold on. No, it's the 551, Braxel. 551. Yeah. When I get that, or the SSL 500. Well, if you don't have any SSL EQs, I'd say get get SSL first. Yeah. Yeah, I would much rather have SSL. Yeah, those are cool, but I think I feel like the SSLs are more flexible on what you can use them on. Not that you can't use the 551s on a bunch of different things, but I found only a few things that I really like it on, and I really like it on it. But I would say get the SSLs before the 551s if it was me. Oh yeah, DIY RE will build for an additional fee. Yeah. Yeah, right. So you could buy their stuff, they'll build it. Yeah. You and I eyeballed the Pope audio ones. Was also looking at the Phoenix EQ. I heard of Phoenix. I know it's what you're talking about. I've never heard it. Pope audio ones. I'm not sure I know what that is. And the Phoenix stuff I don't know enough about. I've probably seen them on a YouTube channel somewhere along the way. I don't know anyone that owns Phoenix, as far as I know. I've never used their stuff, but I use SSL stuff every day. So I can tell you those sound great. So yeah, I would say go with the SSL before the Neve 551s. But if you get a chance, if you need something a little different, the Neve 551 is cool. Hey, Uncle, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. I know it's summertime, everybody. How many people? We got 20 people here. That's pretty good for a Friday night in July. Isn't everybody already out and about? And who the hell's sitting home watching YouTube? I guess you and me, right? That's good. That's good. Pulp Audio has a 2-knob high and low shelf. I don't even know Pulp. Why do I not know that name? Pulp Audio. I gotta look that up. I don't know that name. Pulp Audio. Doesn't ring a bell, man. I'm sure if I've seen it, I'd be like, oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, Go with the SSL, because they're affordable too. They're like, right, for 500 unit, probably 350, 400 maybe. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's what I would tell you. I would tell you go with SSL. I tell you go with SSL. But you only have 3 slots. You don't have enough for 2 pairs. So you got to get yourself another 500 rack. So what else is going on, everybody? What are you guys working on in your studio? What are you doing? Guys busy? Making music for yourself? Working on music for other people? A little of both? What are you guys working on? I'm working on mostly singles. Most of the clients I've been getting lately is just a song here, one song. Although I just met with a client the other day. We're going to do it. We're almost ready to start possibly booking to do a 5-song EP. But most of my stuff this year has been just singles, one-offs, lots of one-offs. I don't know what you guys are working on, but that's what I've been working on. I'd like to ask if there's any difference between if we mix for kick, snare, claps in direct mono or stereo. Yeah, typically kick, snares will usually be mono. Claps sometimes can be stereo depending on how they were recorded. Is there any difference if you mix them in stereo or mono? No, not really. Like if you have like a stereo, if you're asking me like if you have like a stereo in your DAW, if the kick was stereo, a stereo track, and you mixed it stereo versus mono. No, not really. I mean, because you're going to keep it panned up the center anyway. But typically all that stuff would be most of that kick snare in particular would be mono. Again, claps, those would be in stereo. Could be in stereo, I should say. Oh, you have the super carrier. That's why. I have 2 of those as well. Yeah, that's right. They got 11 slots. Okay, now that makes sense. Why you don't have everything in pairs. I totally get it. Jimmy said he just started mixing the new masterclass. Oh, cool. Smile by James D. Cooler. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's hopefully you like the song. Hopefully you dig the course. A lot of people bought the course when I released it. Lots of people, lots of mix. Hopefully everyone that bought the course will actually submit their mix. Not everybody does, I find out. It's only usually about 30% of the people that actually buy the course actually send their mix into the contest, which I don't understand. You get a chance to win a bunch of stuff. But anyhow, that's great. Yeah, I'll be forward to hearing your mix, James. All right, let me see here. Let's see. They sell Pope Audio at Vintage King. I forgot to look that up, man. Steve, I've never heard of it. I don't know why I've never heard of it. Brand XL EQ, they got good reviews when it was launched. Oh, cool. Hey, how you doing? Both with Flamenco Music. Cool. You're very welcome. Anytime. Dave's trying to find time to actually be in the studio. Well, that's step 1. Get in the studio. And then step 2 is actually work on something. Yes, I know you'll be sending yours in, and you should, man. You really should. You really should. Everybody should send their mix into the contest. I mean, what the hell? You get a chance to possibly win a bunch of free stuff. Do you know how hard it is for me to nail these companies down, to get stuff to give away? You think it's easy, right? It's not. It's not. It takes a lot of work and a lot of emails, and sometimes, depending on the company, lots of meetings to be able to exchange my services for gear so I can give it away, So the least people can do is try to win it. I don't want all this stuff in my studio. I don't need it. But that'll be cool, man. Hey, Dave, really enjoy your channel. Just wanted to ask a fun question. Shoot. Thank you I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Ask me anything you'd like. If I know the answer, I'll try. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. Thanks for supporting what we do. And if anybody wants to support what we do, make sure you hit that super chat. Super chat it. Come on, man. Super chat it. If everybody that came here gave me $2, I could get myself a nice breakfast tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Oh, let's see. LA3A, LA2A, 1176. You can only pick one. 1176. It's the most versatile of the three. And you can use it on, you can use any of those on anything. But 1176 tends to be more versatile to me. It's got more control. You can control the ratios. You can control the attack and release times. You can't do that with an LA3 and LA2A. So if I only had to pick one, it would be an 1176. But I have all three of those, and all of them I use for different things. But good question. Good question. Good question. Yeah, definitely for sure, 1176. Now you're going to ask me, well, which one would you buy? By what company, right? Is that going to be your next question? Is it going to be the Universal Audio? Is it going to be the Warm Audio? Speaking of Warm Audio, I did that, it's up there. I don't know if you can see it. It's way up there. Up there. See it with the meter? The WA1B. Well, now, actually, I was really surprised by that unit. I really was. I like it. I was really surprised. Built really well, much better than the other pieces by Warm Audio that I physically have handled over the years. But it is, I think, one of their more expensive pieces, I believe. I forget how much that thing is. $1,400, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a little less than that. And it's built really well. Sounds really good too. Sounds good. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I do like it. But it's got a higher price tag than most of their stuff. Most of their stuff is not of that price point. So, Audioscape 1176. Oh, he has all of them already. I do. I got them all. I got the A, the F, and the D. Love them all. They're all great. Oh, thanks, Braxel. You gave me $2. Only $2 you wanted? Well, how much you willing to? Let me see now. Braxel just is about to buy the West Audio EQ, right? What is that? $6,000? All right. How much can I take out of that budget for a super chat, Braxel? I don't know. Let's see. How much you willing to take out of that budget? I think Braxel's also a cat that has like 15 guitars or something that his wife doesn't know about. Is that right? I think you told me that once. So you got a whole bunch of studio gear. You got like 20 guitars. Man, you got a big gear budget. I don't know. How much can you spare? I'm only teasing. Thank you for the super chat. That was very nice of you. You didn't have to do that. Oh, another super chat. Thank you so much. That was very kind. Very kind. No more questions. Just appreciate you. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming to the channel. I appreciate that you like the videos. I try to do things that are unique here. And when David's with me up here, we try to be different than most other channels. We try to bring things in a more casual, entertaining, if you will, kind of a way, and try to be as honest and straight with you as we can. And if you get something out of this channel and you get stuff out of the videos, man, that's awesome. That's the only reason why I do it, because there ain't no money in YouTube, man. There ain't no money in YouTube. So for the amount of hours that I put into the content for this channel, for all intent purposes, it's all for free. I don't make anything from it. So the only reason why I do it is because you guys like it and you guys come out and support what I do. And when we do live streams, you show up and we chat and this and that and the other thing. And so I do it for fun. So if you're digging it, thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. You are the only person that gives me inspiration to work on audio engineering. Oh, that's very nice of you, man. I now work with several countries in the Albanian Gulf. Oh, wow. All thanks and appreciate to you. Oh, man, that's great. Thank you so much. Again, that's the only reason why I do it, man. If I'm inspiring you in some way, that means a lot to me. Thank you. I'm glad that my efforts are somewhat appreciated and you guys are getting a lot out of it. And hopefully you're learning something. And if you guys are, getting involved in the game and making money and working with people and just enjoying, the passion of this stuff, if I've helped encourage you in some way, great. Just don't blame me if you get divorced because you spent too much money. Haha. She knows about the guitars, including the new Shure. Oh, yeah, the new Shure, excuse me. The new Shure you bought in February. Yeah, 4K on that. They make expensive stuff. I've always wanted to try a Suhr guitar, but they're just so expensive. They're so expensive. So Braxel's got a lot of bread, man. He probably hit the lotto. He's got a bunch of rich relatives. Awesome, man. That's great. Good for you. Good for you. She knows about all the guitars, huh? That's awesome. You had to wait for the Suhr to how to make it. Yeah. I've never played any of their guitars, but I know they're very, very popular. I've never seen anyone say they don't like one of their things, one of their guitars, but yeah, they're pricey, man. They're like up in the, they're like up in that Paul Reed Smith, you know, core, the core series and up, right? Like core private stock, that kind of stuff, right? That kind of money. That's cool. And a lot of their guitars, from what I've seen, they just look like beautiful pieces of art too. Like they make just really beautiful looking instruments as well. Functional, but very beautiful. Maybe one day I'll have a chance to play one. Certainly not going to be able to buy one anytime soon. But hey, that's good, man. Good for you. So what else is happening? What else? What else we got going on out there? What else do you guys want to know about? Let me know. Ask away. That's why I'm here. To help all of you. What other videos do you want me to do on the channel, man? I mean, I got a bunch of ideas and got a bunch of gear demos and things coming and giving away multi-tracks and all that stuff. What other ideas do you have? What other ideas or what other things on this channel have you not maybe seen that you want to see? I know some of you will say, well, go get this piece of gear and that piece of gear and do a bunch of demos. Sometimes I just can't get every piece of gear that's out there because I can't afford to go buy it all. And unless I have a relationship with a company who's going to let me have it or borrow it or both, that's not always possible. But are there any other kind of videos? I mean, I don't even know how many videos we have on the channel now, probably several hundred at this point. What other stuff do you want to see? You know, let me know. You've been married for 28 years, Dave. Oh, cool. Good. Congratulations. There's nothing my wife does not know about me. That's good, man. Because I'll tell you what, I know some cats that got a lot of stuff hidden from their spouses, man, because if their spouses knew how much money they were spending, they'd probably be in divorce court. So that's good. I'm glad you and your wife have a great open relationship as far as your spending habits, and she supports what you do. And that's always really cool, man. You're a lucky guy. Lucky guy. Running compressors in series. Oh, okay. Okay. You know, I do some of that in, well, let me see. I'm trying to think of any of the courses I've done where I've done compressors in series. I know I do it when I mix for people. I do it quite often, actually. I don't know if I put that in a course yet, but that's a good suggestion for when I do the next mixing hybrid course. Maybe I'll do a couple elements where we run compressors in series, because I do that quite often. Just trying to think if I've ever done a video on it. I might not have. If you're asking means I probably haven't. So that's a good suggestion. Good for you, man. Happy wife is a happy life, Braxel. So you got to tell her, you got to put you got a gear fund, a guitar fund, and then you have to have a super chat for Dave fund. Your wife will appreciate that. I just got a 4848 because of your videos. I needed more I/O for my console. Very happy with it. Great. Where did you get them? Because you can't get them anywhere, man. They're almost impossible to find on the used market. And I'll tell you what, I think David S.J. said this before, and he's right. Before we did the series where we first got introduced to the 4848 and compared them to the Universal Audio, and then we did the whole, you know, right? You've seen all the converter videos. Before that, you could have bought those 4848s on reverb.com all day long. As soon as we put out that video against the Universal Audio X16s, I think they were, all of a sudden, man, the whole used market dried up. You can't find them. They're almost impossible to find. Every now and again, you'll see one. And the reason why I know that is because I was, for the longest time, trying to buy a spare, because I knew that if I had a problem with one, I didn't have a spare and I couldn't find them. I think I put those, you know, and what, you know, and again, I don't understand why. I probably sold more used 4848s for PreSonus than they sold them when they were new. And I told them that. I told them when I found out that they weren't doing you know, a refresh of that, when they put all their other quantum audio interfaces out recently and they weren't replacing that. When I told them, I said, I don't understand why you won't do that. I'm telling you, people will buy that. Now, no, the problem prior to us was no one ever did a video on the 4848. You couldn't even find the video hardly anywhere of it even being used, let alone comparing the sound quality to all these other high-end units. I could have sold a ton of those for them if they would have made a new one and if it was good, you know, because we do everything on above board here. If it sounds like shit, I wouldn't do a video. But if it was really good, like the other one was, we would have compared it to this, you know what I mean? I could have sold them a ton, but they just didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it. But I'm glad you like the 4848. I'm telling you, those are for the money at the time. And even since then, I know there's not, unless maybe some of the new RME or some of the new stuff that's coming out may change this. But to get 32 analog in and outs on a one use space, and I think at the time those units were about 14 or 1500 bucks. There was no other product on the market that had that much IO for that kind of money. I know that because when I went to replace them, I ended up buying the Antelope Galaxy, which this is the 6464. But even if I bought the 32, that was about a $6,000 unit or a $5,000 unit, somewhere in that ballpark, where those were 1,500 bucks. They're 1,500 bucks. I'm glad that you got some, and I'm glad that you like it, man. The only problem with those are they don't support them anymore. If you have a problem with them and trying to find another used one as a backup is a problem. But short of that, it's a great unit. Who else could put up with me but my wife? That's right. DJ, how are you? Looking at the new Harrison console? Nice. And for what I see, it has 32 long fader inputs only and 8 mono buses designed for tracking and about twice the price as the Origin. But I like the added interface. Yeah, that new console, when I saw it at NAMM, I think you're right. Again, I don't know all the features, but you're right. I think that console, the one that I saw, was about a $95,000 console. But that had some features in it that this didn't have. I don't remember all the details. But yeah, yeah. I don't remember all the details, man. I know they have you're right, they have the I/O built into the console, right? That's one thing that I thought, well, that was really cool. And two, if I'm not mistaken, DJ, isn't that console, doesn't all the audio travel over Ethernet? It's not over D-sub? Was that the other thing that I remember seeing that I went, that's really cool for the future? Because I mean, if you don't have to buy all the D-sub cabling, I think that was the other thing. I don't remember that it had automation in it or anything like that. I don't think that it did. But yeah, it's about twice the price of the Origin, I think. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, if I remember right, it was like 95 grand. It looked really beautiful. It looked like a really nice console, but it was up there, man. It was up there. Yeah, like I said before, I don't know that there's there's not many consoles on the market that have the same features that this Origin has at this price point. This is one of the more affordable ones. There's others, Audient and Trident are in the same ballpark range, but that's it. Everybody else is way more money. If you want 64 faders, 32 long, 32 short, 32 EQs, 32 preamps with 16 mono, 8 stereo buses, and a full talkback section, the whole thing. I don't know of any console out there that's in this price point, you know, except for the few that I just mentioned. And the Harrison was more expensive. Yeah. Your videos were eye-openers to me. Thank you, sir. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Do you try Cole Audio before mic preamp? I've never tried it. No, Never, I don't even know. Coil Audio, I've never even heard of it. Do you plan on doing a review on the new Behringer stuff? No, but not unless they're going to send it to me. No, nope, nope. People asked me that last time too. We were doing a live stream. No, the only thing I'm doing reviews on is gear that I actually need for my own studio, that gear that I will do and that I can use. Or in some cases, I really don't need it, but I want to try it. And the company allows me to use it as prize giveaways, as we talked about earlier, like the Z&H stuff. But yeah, no plans to do the Behringer stuff. No plans. I'm not that rich. It took me time to collect all this stuff, and being in the 50s syndrome, instead of just buying a fancy car, I spent money on gear. Yeah, man. Nothing wrong with that. I know guys that buy fancy cars, man, that cost more money than what I have sitting in this room. Mag EQs are amazing. Yeah, that's an EQ I'd like to get. I'd love to get the Mag EQ4. I use the plug-in all the time. It's one of those EQs I've gone to Sweetwater and put it in my shopping cart, and then I take it out. And then I put it in my shopping cart and I take it out. One of these days, maybe I'll end up buying that. I love their plugins, though. I use the Universal Audio version of that plugin and love it. You have to do a search on YouTube where the RME Rep Supply slipped out the new FireNet series of interfaces. Yeah, I have to look at that because I don't. You're the first one that's mentioned that I've never heard of that before. I didn't know they were doing a FireNet series. That'll be cool. That's coming out in the fall. Okay, cool. The Harrison is over 100K Dante interface. Right. Hi, Zona. How are you, buddy? Yeah, right. Yeah, those are expensive, man. Too expensive for my blood, unfortunately. But the RME 6020 Pro is listed, and I ordered one. The first Sweetwater is going to get in September. Okay. Nice. And that's going to replace your Ferrofish, right? I currently mix in a really nice Logitech set of 2.5-inch speakers and a subwoofer. Cool. When I change over to Focal Twins, how much of a difference will you be in for? Oh, way different. You can't compare a set of Logitech computer speakers to Focal Twins, my friend. Focal Twins, you're going to say to yourself, I don't understand how I used the Logitechs for so long. You're really going to enjoy the Focals. I've had 3 sets of them. I love them. Huge difference. Huge difference. You're going to enjoy those. When are you getting your Focal Twins? That's what I've been doing with the Neve MBT for the past month or so. Yeah, that's right, James. You didn't buy that, right? I thought you said you were going to buy it. Yeah, you want that. I haven't done a video on that yet. I'm telling you, I like it a lot. And didn't that just recently go up in price again? I think it did. I think it's over $4,000 now. I only paid $37 for mine. I think it's gone up in price, Jim. You may want to get your hands on that before it goes higher. Yeah, the Mag is a cool EQ, man, especially the airband. But you know what? More than the airband, that's what it's known for. I use a lot of the sub on that. Not a lot. I don't use a lot of it, but I use it a lot. The sub, which I believe is like 10 or 15 hertz. Pop just a tiny bit of that on the bottom of a mix. I love it. You have the 6s, right, Braxel? Yeah. And David SJ has the 6s too. Yeah, those are, once you use Focal, it's hard to switch and go to something else. At least for me. I'm so used to the Focal sound. I don't know. I'd have a really difficult time working on other speakers, I think, at this point. Because I've been doing it for so long on the Focals, you know. I think they're worth every penny. These Focal Trios, man. I don't know what else I would buy. I mean, I know there's more expensive stuff out there, but I can't imagine. Not yet, because you need more I/O, and that's another Apollo on top of that cost. Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you're using the X16s, right, Jimmy? I think so, for your I/O. Right? And you know, I got to ask you, why are you using the Apollos? Are you using them because you do use the DSP and use a lot of universal audio plugins? Is that why? Just just thinking about it, because if you're just getting those for IO, they're a lot of money. The IO, that's a lot of money. Those Apollos for what you're getting, you're paying mostly for the DSP. In other words, you can get just as much IO from other top, you know, companies at a little bit less price, I believe. But maybe you're into the UA plugin thing, and then that would make total sense. I totally get it. Bro, you are amazing. I got my console after you. Oh, excellent, man. You really inspired me. I have a Rasma 820. 20 channels, 8 buses, really good EQ. Good, man. Congratulations. Good for you. I'm glad I inspired you, man. That's awesome. How do you like working on a console? Different than working in the box, is it not? Different than working in a box. You know, it's funny, too, because a few weeks ago on the other channel, I was showing the digital rig that I have with the 2 UF8s and the UC1 and the UF1, and I was explaining on my other YouTube channel. I was trying to, like, kind of copy this kind of workflow, you know, kind of doing it, you know, to see, get all the faders and, you know, and I got to tell you, it's nothing like working on this. I don't care. I've used every single DAW controller that's out there. I've used them in almost every single configuration you could possibly put these things in. And I am telling you, for everyone, because I wanted to know for myself, just like the reason why I bought a console, I wanted to know what the real differences are between analog and digital. We've talked about that on this channel ad nauseum, and now I know. But I wanted to know, because I've seen so many people say, oh yeah, you get the DAW controllers, it's just like working on the desk, and you know, that's the way they market this. It's just like working on a real console. Let me tell you something. It is not even remotely close to like working on a real desk. It just isn't. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't respond the same. It's not the same. It's not that it's not cool, you know, and it's got its place. And I guess, you know, like with anything, once you build all the muscle memory down and you can really maximize what you can get out of those controllers, it's cool. But I got to tell you, it doesn't feel anything like working on a real console. It's not even close. And the two biggest things for me are when you're working with the controllers, whether you have 8 faders or 16 faders or even 24 faders, unless you have 32 faders, 4 of those things, having to bank over, and when you have to bank, the tracks move, and some of them work with the DAW when they follow along and, you know, on the screen, and some don't. It's very clunky. I found myself on those controllers trying to kind of hunt and peck around to figure out where everything is and where are things moving to and what button does this and this button does 3 different things. If you hold down the shift button, it is so not like working on a real console. I'm convinced of that, and I've used them all. And some of them for extended periods of time, and they does not feel anything like working on a real analog console. Not even close. Forget the sound, forget all of that. The workflow and the tactileness of it is not even close. It just isn't. So that's the number one thing, the banking. And the number 2 thing is that because even though you can control the plugins with the controllers, and some of those controllers are really cool, like the Soft Tube or like the UC1 by SSL, but because you can only open up one plugin window at a time, you can only work on one thing at a time. It's slow. It's slow. And to be honest, for me, it almost seemed like it was faster for me to control a plugin with a trackball than it is to kind of map all the different controls to these controllers. It's not the same. So I tried to kind of mimic this in the digital realm, and it was just so unbelievably uncomfortable that I gave up on it. I thought I can make it feel somewhat close to, it's not even close. It's not even close. Anyway, so that's that on that. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up here. I know I missed some stuff. Oh, the MBT's $39.99. Okay, so it's going up about $300 since I bought mine. It's going up. But I got a new desk with more rack space for preparation for the inevitable. What's the inevitable? Yeah, you have the X16s, right. Those are good units. But do you use the plugins? Is that what you do? Oh, okay, I see, Jim. You use them to track your band, and the console is the stuff. Oh, you track through the plugins, through the Unison technology. Okay, then that makes total sense. That's a great setup too. Those are really good, man. If you're using those X16s for the Unison pre's and you're tracking through the plugins, you know, all that, that's great stuff. Get a Ferro Fish for I/O. I had a 32 Pro and not a darn thing wrong with it. I only took it back because you wanted the, yeah, you said that. Yeah, you wanted to match the converter. You wanted to match the brands, right? If it wasn't for live tracking, I would have gone another route for sure. Yeah, I get it. But no, now that you're in that ecosystem, there's really no reason to switch, right? You got the 4840 on a reverb, man. You got lucky then, man. You got lucky. You must have caught it right at the right time. Because I'll tell you what, those are hard to find, man. You know what? If you love the 4848, you know, save a search on Reverb so it contacts you the next time someone lists one. Buy a backup. Buy a spare. If you really like it, you'll probably be good to have one sitting on your shelf if you don't have one already. Still thinking that and wondering if a summing mixer is worth it. Wish I can do a review. Yeah, I can't. I don't have one. And I've used them. We've talked about it before. I've used summing mixers in the past. I know there's new companies that have some new stuff out. And I know some people that have them. And some people that have it like it. But I got to tell you, I'm just looking something here quick. 1112. I just realized one of my routings was not right. There we go. The summing mixers that I've used, it didn't, to me, the amount of money that you spent on a summing mixer, you could use that money to get, I think, a more two-bus or master, you know, main output, you know, EQ compressor, saturator, that kind of thing, color box. I think it's far more beneficial than a summing mixer. And I've used summing mixers, so I am talking from experience. Now, I haven't used some of the newer ones that are out, but I wouldn't buy a summing mixer. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Some people that love them, that are into them, will disagree with that, and that's totally fine. I would not spend $2, $3, $4, $5 grand on a summing mixer. I would use that money to buy other analog gear that would have a larger impact, in my opinion. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. The inevitable is getting the Neve MBT. Oh, cool. It'll happen. It'll happen. Maybe Santa Claus will bring it for you, James. Santa Claus will bring it for you. That's what'll happen. I thought the MBT was always $39.99. I paid $3,700 for mine, and I bought it from Vintage King. Did I buy it from Vintage King? I think I did. I don't even think I bought that from Sweetwater. Geez, I'm trying to remember. I think I might have bought that from Vintage King. He probably gave me a discount. He might have. Because I also bought my Audio Gain Labs from him. I also bought my original Trinoff from him. And then at the time, oh yeah, and I bought the Antelope Galaxy. Yeah, you know what? He may have just I probably bought it from Vintage King, and with all the money I spent there, they might have given me a discount. But I bought mine, was $3,700 or $3,750, I think is what I paid for mine. So maybe I did. Maybe I got a brother-in-law discount because I spent a small fortune. Don't waste your money on a summing mixer. Yeah, I just, again, I know there's new gear out there, and I know there's a new one by Neve that was put out a year or two ago, and I have 2 or 3 students that have it, and I'm telling you, man, they swear up and down by that thing. I don't know what I want to say. It's the Orbit. I could be wrong, but it's a 16-channel summing mixer, and I know 2 people that have that, and they love it. I've never heard it. I've never used it. They love it. That's a newer one. I've used some summing mixers in the past, and they were okay. But now that I know, and that was when I was all in the box, and I didn't really have a lot of experience with hardware. But now that I know what I know about this stuff, I wouldn't buy a summing mixer. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because a good summing mixer with 16 to 32 channels or 48 channels is going to be, you're going to spend at least, what, 2 to 4 or 5 grand. I could take that 4 grand or 3 grand and build you a master bus chain that would sound, it would have, I think would be better than running a summing mixer. That's just my opinion. Yeah, it's the Orbit, right? That's it. Like I said, I got 2 students that have it. 2 students. And they love it. They swear by it. They tell me it's changed their life. And I'm telling you that I'm not exaggerating. They said it made the biggest impact in their studio. Okay, cool. So maybe that one does. If it's Neve, it probably sounds great. Maybe there's some other stuff in the, I think, I wonder if that Orbit has like the silk circuit in there or something, and maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. All I know is that the people that I know have it, they love it, but I wouldn't go down the road of a summing mixer. That's just me. Hey, we already got a thumbs down. Which one of you jokers gave me a thumbs down? Come on, who did that? How could you give me a thumbs down? I do not have room for consoles. Well, you got room for like 30 guitars. You got room for console. I'm using a Dangerous. Oh yeah, you're the one that got the desk that you waited like 1.5 years for, right? It's a mastering type desk with 3 bays. Yeah, you waited so long for that for that desk. You're not going to get a new one to buy a console, right? But it sounds like you got the money for a console based on all the things you've told us you bought. Right, that has the silk circuit. Maybe that's why they love it. They like that Orbit because it's got the silk, because the silk circuit is killer, man. Maybe that's why. And you know, again, it's probably got it's got transformers in it and stuff. So again, I guess if it's the only piece of analog gear you have and you want to run your stems through some transformers and throw the silk circuit on, it's cool. But I got to tell you, man, you can buy, just go buy the 542 Porticos. You could buy a pair of those for $1,500. You get the silk circuit, and then you could buy yourself a good, EQ and compressor or something like the SSL Fusion or the Neve MBT. I would buy the Neve Master Bus Transformer before I bought a summing mixer. At least I would. Jimmy says it has to be honest to God hardware question. Okay, you actually have a question. Okay, okay. You got an honest to God question. I got the AudioScape G-Bus compressor and I find it fiddly to dial in. It is fiddly to dial in. I know because I've used it. You actually have the one that I used. I've never used the hardware before, only the plug-in. Is that normal? Say that again. Hold on. You got that AudioScape bus compressor. I know you have that. And you find it fiddly to dial in. I've never used the hardware before, only the plug-in. Is that normal? Oh. You saying that that's the first hardware bus compressor you've used, and prior to that, you've only used plugins for your bus compressor. That particular bus compressor I found is a little fiddly to dial in. It is. It sounds good, but I remember it being a little fiddly as well. Yeah, I remember being a little fiddly as well. Is that normal? I don't know, because, like my SSL bus compressor isn't fiddly to dial in. I've used no, I don't know that that's normal. I don't know if it's something with that AudioScape product. Now that AudioScape product, that is the first product that they've ever made, according to them. So they may have learned some things along the way. I think they're going to be replacing that with a new version of it at one time in the future. I know they've told me about it. I just don't know when that's happening. But I remember that unit being a little fiddly. It sounded good, and once you kind of got it locked in, you had to kind of leave it alone. Yeah. I'll never buy another Dangerous Fox. It takes too long to get. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. And I'm not wanting to wait a year for a desk. Yeah, I don't blame you. Does the Orbit have inserts? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Interesting. Hey, we got another thumbs down. Uh-oh. Some people don't like the live stream. It's okay. I don't care. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that compressor was a little, yeah, once you set that compressor up and it sounds good, and it does sound good, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Because the reaction time is a little weird, or fiddly. I shouldn't say weird, it's fiddly. It's fiddly. So that's kind of a set it and forget it. I have the SSL Bus Plus and love it. Oh yeah, that's right. It has so many features, it's unreal. Check out the manual for it. Yeah, that's probably an awesome piece. You'd be better off with a Mixmaster. It has inserts, the Orbit is not. Oh, it doesn't? Okay. That's that summing mixer. That's okay. That's okay. They don't have to like the live stream. Those are the same people that put thumbs down on all my videos. I still have a person. I know I blocked him from the, I think I blocked him from the channel a while back, but I think they're still able to do thumbs up, thumbs down. They just can't put comments anymore because they were really nasty to me. Anyway, there was this person, every time I put a video out, within the first 10 minutes of the video, every single video thumbs down. Every single video. No matter what it is. Not that I give a shit, to be honest. I just find it funny. You know, I don't know that I've ever given a thumbs down. I probably have, but I don't know that I've ever really given a thumbs down to anybody's video. I don't ever, and I've certainly never wrote a nasty comment to anybody. No, never. I just don't have time for that, and I guess maybe because I create lots of content, I know how much time this takes. And it takes a lot of effort for people to do this stuff. And most of the people that are not very kind, or nasty comments or thumbs down or whatever, those are people who don't create. Most of those people don't have channels. They're not in the content creation game. So they don't participate. They just go around and try to, discourage others. But when you do this, you realize you kind of have you sympathize, man. You sympathize with other creators, even if you don't like their video and their video's maybe not done well or whatever. I kind of sympathize. I may not give them a thumbs up and I may not watch any more of their stuff, but I would never leave a nasty comment or anything like that because I understand what it takes to do this stuff. And again, and for guys like me and for most people, you don't make any money doing this. This is all free, man. This is all in the spirit of fun and meeting people and helping people and, being able to sit around on a Friday night and chat with your buddies. This is for fun. So, when you're getting it for free and you're not paying for it, what did my mom used to tell me? You get what you get and you don't get upset, right? You just say, hey man, I'm not paying for this stuff. It's all free. Give content creators a break. But, whatever. That's okay. They're the converter nerds. I know. Oh, those videos, man. I think out of all, no, there were two sets of videos that I've done on this channel that got me an enormous amount of hate. The first was when I first set up the channel and I first bought a console. The amount of hate that I got when I first started this channel, Dave will tell you because he was really heavily involved in it way back then. I mean, he is today too, but he was here like every weekend and he saw a lot of it. And the amount of nasty people that seemed to track me down when I bought an SSL and started this channel I was shocked because I came from a YouTube channel that I've been doing for nearly 10 years. And I could count on one hand the amount of nasty comments I've had to delete and or block in 10 years on that channel. I got that in the probably first 2 weeks on this channel. And that went on for months and months and months. I had to block so many people. I had to delete so many comments. I was shocked. That was the first set of videos. The second set of videos that got me all the hate were all the converters. That got me a lot of hate too. It got me a lot of positive as well. I'm not going to say it was all hate. It wasn't. But it got me a lot of hate. A lot of people came out of the woodwork, man. A lot of people. Even though in all those videos with all the converters, never once did I say any of the converters that we tested against the 4848 or the Apollos or whatever, every single piece of gear that we tested, all I ever said was positive things about the gear. I never said a negative thing about any of the gear that we tested because I didn't think anything was negative. I just thought that the test that we were doing where we were comparing just the sounds of the converter, to me, there was really no difference. In a couple of those units, there was a very, very, very minuscule difference. But all those pieces of gear were really great pieces of gear. And I said that in every single video. And in some videos, I said that multiple times. I never said a bad thing about any of that equipment because I didn't think anything was bad. If I thought some of the equipment was bad, I would have said it. But I mean, we tested what? The Neve, great piece of gear. The Burl, great piece of gear. The Dangerous Music, great piece of gear. The Apollo X16s, which I owned, amazing pieces of gear. Love the gear. None of the stuff was bad. The Neumann NT48, one of the best desktop small little interfaces that you can get. One of the most expensive, but for the features and the sound quality of that thing, great piece of gear. But oh man, did I get a bunch of hate from those converters, man. Unbelievable. So those were the two. Those were the two. When I first got the console and I started doing this stuff, that was really bad. And that shocked me because I never experienced hate like that before on YouTube. Uncle Dave was at Home Recording Made Easy for nearly 9 years and overwhelmingly, positive vibes and positive, community and very thankful and very kind, like a lot of you guys here. So when I started this channel, man, I had no idea the amount of backlash I was going to get. But now I'm used to it. And now on this channel, for the most part, it's pretty cool. We got rid of all the riffraff. Every now and again, someone pops up their head and has something nasty to say, and I just block them and delete their comment, and you guys never see it. Only because I like the comment sections to be full of, where people can share ideas and can respectfully, disagree and then talk about what they use. And it's more informational stuff, right? So if you're watching a video about, I don't know, a piece of hardware that I'm demoing here, and then someone in the comments will suggest another piece of hardware that they use and that kind of thing, it's more learning. So we don't have it as far as, we don't get the trolls as much. But I'll tell you what, man, in the beginning, it was bad, man. It was really bad. I'll tell you, there was a couple of times early on, I almost shut the channel down. I wasn't going to get rid of the gear, but I was ready to shut the channel down at one point. Was crazy, man. But now it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's see. Let me get to here. A mixer is the most cost-effective at the end of the day. When you buy EQ, monitor section, buses, mic pre's, consoles away, bang for buck. Yeah, I agree. I agree. A console in the long run, if you want the real analog experience, over the cost of the long haul, a console is the way to go. But not everybody has, it's not even so much not everybody has the budget, because a lot of people have tons of hardware that add up to more than what this console costs. But a lot of times people don't have the physical space, or they just get really nervous about owning a console, But But to me, yeah, if you were starting off, if you can get a console, and you don't have to get one this expensive. I mean, you could get something smaller, a little more compact, a little less budget. But at the end of the day, you get, you know, I mean, like, you know, you get 32 in this one, 32 preamps, 32 hardware EQs. I mean, that alone, just take the preamps and the EQs. I mean, these EQs, if you buy them, what are they, $600 or so? I forget what they are nowadays. They used to be more than that. But you got almost $35,000 here just in EQs. And that doesn't include the preamps, right? So when you look at it that way, you know, they were just jealous that you got a console. Yeah, I know. That's really all what it is. Yeah, but I'm jealous of a lot of people I see online as far as I see some of these guys' studios and some things they have, and I'm a little jealous. Wish I had that. I would never write someone a nasty comment and, you know, tell them all the things that were said to me. It's like, hey, man, try to be happy for somebody. But yeah, no, I know that's what it is. Most people are just, you know, no, I shouldn't say most people are not that way, but I mean, most of the trolls, those people are, they're jealous and they're, you know, they don't like to see somebody succeed because maybe they're not in a place where they wanted to be in their life and they failed. And I always say, you know, failure likes company, right? Misery likes company. And so some people are like that, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it, but you know what? Hey, but like I said, by and large, especially nowadays, everybody's really cool. And we all disagree on a lot of different things, but everybody's respectful and cool and nice and just sharing ideas and opinions. And that's really all, you know, that's all you can do. You know, you don't have to agree. You could still be friends and agree to disagree. What's wrong with that? Dude, that's messed up. You have no idea. Some people said I should have left all the comments and let people see how nasty people were, but I didn't want to do that. Some people said some really nasty, I mean, unbelievable. I had people threaten me, threaten my family. I mean, you have no idea. I mean, it was really like, are you kidding me? I mean, I guess I could understand that if you were running like some kind of a political channel or some kind of a controversial social, you know, like some social topic, whether it's, you know, guns or abortion or, you know, if you are running a channel discussing those types of issues, I could see where people get so hot under the collar that they can say some stuff, but even then it's not justified. This is a freaking audio channel, man. We're talking about music and gear. And you're going to threaten me and threaten my family? I mean, really unbelievable. As far as the trolls, you're always honest with your words and experience with the gear, and that's the reason why we're all here. Thank you, sir. You're very welcome. No, thank you guys. Without you guys, there is no channel here. If you guys don't show up here and watch the videos and participate and come to some of the live streams and you know, for the ones that buy my training, if you guys don't do those things, then I don't exist here. So you know, you guys always thank me, but I really thank you guys because without you, there is none of this. I mean, yeah, this is fun and all, but this is a business for me. And the only way I can do this stuff and be a part of your lives on some level, even if it's over the internet, is if you guys support what I do. That's the only way. Because without that, I can't do this. So you guys are really the reason why I'm still here, really. Hey, Mark. Hey, Dave. Always missed the live streams, but nice that you're here. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Mark is from Laney and the Wildfire. We've done Laney and the Wildfire music here on the channel before. It's been a while since I've done some of your stuff. Hopefully you guys are going to come out with new stuff and share some of that music with us. I'd be happy to put it on the channel. Make sure you check out Laney and the Wildfire. And Mark also has another band, and I know you've given me some stuff, Mark, and I'm going to use it. I have it. I was listening to some of it the other day. So Mark has been very, very kind, contributing some really great music and some multi-track sessions that we'll eventually be able to share. So good to see you. The converter talk never dies. Those converter companies are loving it. Well, I know PreSonus really liked it. And I never got anything, in return for it. When I got my API, my mixes were okay. But after really learning the console, the mixes were way better. Whatever you have, learn like the back of your hand, and it will pay off in the end. Yeah, man, that's probably the understatement of the century, man. You're right. You don't need all this stuff to make mixes sound great. I mean, yeah, the gear helps. It helps. But really, you got to learn the gear. You got to learn the stuff. You really got to understand it. And you got to practice. And you got to train. And like I told people before, you should also try to learn from other engineers, even if you're an advanced level working with clients and making a living. If that doesn't mean you can't learn something, and it's always great to see other people's workflows and see how they do things, because you may steal a workflow tip or two, or you'll see the way something is done a different way that maybe you didn't think of. And sometimes when we get caught up in doing this stuff, and when we've gotten to a certain level, sometimes you get stuck in your own bubble, and you don't try to learn from other people. And you can always continue to learn. But most importantly, you're right, is you need to really learn the stuff that you have really well and experiment with the stuff. And I talk about that in some other videos that we've done. I'd like to do some more of that on this channel, where there's some times where I get I try to take a couple of days a month if I can, and just sit down with a piece of gear and just bring up a session that's not a project, it's not a client, it's just a session. And just use that piece of gear, insert it on every channel, and work it and see what it sounds good on and what it doesn't sound good on, and just do things with it that you wouldn't typically do, because like when you're working on projects and you have like your go-tos, right? And I'm always going to put this on this, and I'm always going to put this on that. And that's cool because it works. But sometimes when you're working on a time crunch, you're working for a client, you're trying to get things done quick, and you're going to what you know works. The problem with that is you get so used to that workflow and that pattern, you never break outside of that. And sometimes it's really good just to change it up and just do things completely different. And the way to do that is to really know the stuff and know the tools. And I've always keep saying I'd like to do more videos on the channel where we do just that, where like maybe we take a compressor, put it over here next to me on the console, and just let's just see what it sounds like on everything. Let's make it sound good. Let's make it sound bad. Let's figure out what it works on, what it doesn't work on. What do you like it on? What don't you like it on? And then that way you make mental notes. So the next time you're working on a project and you know the way something sounds or the way something reacts. So that's very well said, Zona. You're very right about that. That sounds like VI versus Emacs editor Holly Wars. The bygone days of the internet. Nerd alert, okay. After seeing your videos, I ordered 2 more compressors from Stam. Cool, man. Did you mention me? Okay, cool. No ETA yet. Yeah, that's the problem with them, but I hope they show up in a reasonable amount of time. Well, what did you order? And then it depends on what your definition of a reasonable amount of time is. And that, I'll tell you, and I've said it before and we've said it again, that is the only thing with Stam Audio, is you're going to wait, man. You're going to wait. The turnaround time is not fast there, unfortunately. Their stuff is killer. The stuff that I've used is killer. But you're waiting for it, man. You're waiting. Hopefully they'll get better at that one day, because I really like their stuff. It's just, that's the one drawback. Getting it is hard. It's hard to get the stuff. A music recording channel is not political. No kidding. Yeah, I know. I know, Braxel. You have no... Shocked me too. How do you approach mixing albums? One song at a time, and then the client approves before moving on to the next? Yes, on this console, because of the whole recall thing. Although, yes, and that's the way I try to do it. And most clients, it's never been a problem for me. Because I don't want to have to go back and recall every single session. That's one of the drawbacks to this console, no question. But yeah, that's the way I do it. And honestly, most clients are cool with that. I've never had a client yet that said to me, If we were doing, say, 8 songs, we have to mix all 8 songs. They want all 8 first passes, and then they want to give me notes on all 8 at once. I've never had that, but I know lots of people do. And if I was working in that kind of environment, this would not be the console I would be using. If I had to go back and do lots of recalls, that's not the way this would not be the desk. It just wouldn't be. Because it takes, 45 minutes or so to recall this console and all the hardware. So I would be set up with a different thing. But yeah, that's exactly how I do it. I mix way more singles, 2-3 songs, than I do full albums these days. But I have done several full albums since I've had this. And yeah, that's the way we did it. And it's never been a problem for the clients. They're usually really cool and flexible. If someone couldn't do that with me, could I go back and recall everything? I guess I could, but I would hope to never be in that situation. But that's the way I work, and it's worked for me. So, okay, James, gotta go. See you later. Nice, man. See you later. Thanks for joining, buddy. I find mixing music relaxing. Cool, man. Hope you do not wait a year like you did with the Danger Fox. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Freaking year. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. Cool, man. Do we have any other questions? We've been on here almost 2 hours. It's probably about time to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody once again for joining. And again, to everybody, thank you for all your support. It means the world to me that you guys dig the channel. And hopefully you're enjoying the content, and I can continue to make you guys interested, keep you guys interested to keep coming back, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Again, I appreciate your support. It means the world to me. Make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you go out and check out the courses. Again, that's another way to support what I do. People ask me that all the time. How do we support what you do? It's, you can go out and check out one of the courses. I mean, I have analog courses. I have mixing hybrid courses, and I'll have more coming. Most of the stuff on my training website is mostly in the box stuff, but I am doing a couple of these analog courses a year. You guys can get involved in that. And there's also a donate button right on my website if you want to donate as well. So thank you. I really appreciate it. See, DJ says, better to get involved and get creating at the risk of criticism. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got to have a thick skin in this game, brother. And I do. We joke around about it. All right, man. Oh, yeah. Time for pizza. Not tonight. Sounds good, though. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a great weekend, everybody.